Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications.
In a related development, Senator Akpabio has reiterated the federal government's commitment to mitigate and, if possible, avert potential negative impacts of impending flooding on communities in the Niger Delta following the recent flood alert issued by the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA on littoral states across the country. Senator Akpabio gave the assurance recently in Abuja, where he inaugurated an interagency committee to provide a blueprint to address incidents of coastal floods across the Niger Delta. Correspondent Lovely Ofigo has more.
Recently, Senator Akpabio inaugurated an interagency committee for the mitigation of flood impacts on flood-prone communities across the Niger Delta. The committee members, drawn from relevant ministries and agencies of the federal government, are to assess the region's preparedness and provide strategies to tackle impending flooding of coastal communities. In the month of July this year, the National Emergency Management Agency NEMA had predicted that about 102 local government areas across 28 states were at risk of severe flood incidents that would take a huge toll on affected communities. Considering that all 9 states of the Niger Delta, with the exception of Cross River State, were flashpoints identified in the recent flood alert, Akpabio and his team decided to take proactive measures against the ravaging effects of coastal flooding in the Niger Delta, with the inauguration of an interagency flood committee on the Niger Delta.
We are not praying that those things must happen, but with the prediction coming from the experts, we must make hay while the sun shines. We cannot wait to be only reactive. We should be proactive. We want to see how we can prevent the idea of rescuing people. But we make sure that if we know some certain areas are prone to flood, we take preemptive steps to evacuate people on time. That will mean that we're setting up maybe certain IDP camps or identifying areas in that regard.
In recent years, flooding has become an annual occurrence in most communities lying along riverbanks in the Niger Delta. It was in response to the negative effects of constant human displacement and erosion of livelihoods that the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency recently developed a mobile application to give daily flood reports on the Niger Delta. Minister of State for Niger Delta Affairs, Senator Omotayo Alasho-Adura, while commending federal government agencies on their efforts to tackle the menace of flood across the country, however enjoined them to work with state governments to achieve desired results.
Do you have offices at the state level, and what form of cooperation do you have in trying to ensure that before building plans are approved in very dangerous areas, you are involved? The state, to me, is exceedingly crucial to whatever is going to be done to assuage whatever calamity may be awaiting us.
The Interagency Committee on Impending Floods in the Niger Delta is expected to submit its report to the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs sometime in the middle of September 2020.
Inside the Niger Delta,